We're delaying our Hunter x Hunter show by talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Well, it's a very good way to start a thing about Hunter x Hunter. Sorry, everybody. We've been muted talking about Dragon Ball Z, which is off topic, but it's actually extremely on topic because, and I haven't seen Punch Drunk Love, but if I had to describe Hunter x Hunter in any way, which I will have to do for this episode, it would be like Dragon Ball Z Punch Drunk Love.
Okay, Punch Drunk Love is a film by Paul Thomas Anderson, not to be confused with the other legendary Paul W.S. Anderson, maker of the Resident Evil pictures.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, my king.
Both
I was genuinely confused about which one.
in their own right.
Yeah.
The same thing happens with one of the Garfield movies is directed by, I think, some Coen brothers, who are not the Coen brothers, which is also wild.
Different. I think
That's
differently spelled also.
Huh?
Is it Coen with an H?
I think that it is. Yeah.
That's great.
Extremely funny.
Yeah.
Now, when you say I nearly did it. Paul Thomas Anderson. He's made films in a variety of genres, you know? From the sort of his takes on romantic comedies like Punch Drunk Love to big, bleak neo-noir westerns like There Will Be Blood. When you say Hunter x Hunter is like Punch Drunk Love, what are you talking about?
Okay, this is super easy to explain. Do you know Adam Sandler?
I do know Adam Sandler.
Okay,
yes.
So you know how Punch Drunk Love is meant to be like a spoof, like a realistic take on the very unrealistic character that Adam Sandler plays in his, in his Happy Madison verse.
In his, yeah.
And totally. It's like, what if we took that guy and like forced a reality around him?
Sort of like dunked his head fully into the world of the real.
Right. And Hunter x Hunter is in a lot of ways, what if you did that to Goku from Dragon Ball Z or from Dragon Ball?
Goku is Happy Gilmore and Gon is, I haven't seen Punch Drunk Love.
Right. Gon is the Punch Drunk Loveified Goku. That's
fascinating to me.
Yeah.
I would like to briefly shout out a really great interview in which it's at some Comic-Con or something. It's at some, where they all sit in a line on a table and people ask them questions that are sort of masked versions of their own theories about film. And someone stands up and says to Paul Thomas Anderson, what is it that drew you to Adam Sandler? Did you see something in him that you thought you might be able to make a really interesting movie about? And Paul Thomas Anderson is just like, he's fucking funny, dude. He makes me crack up all the time. I love this guy, and I really love his movies. And it's just so this film bro audience, and I use film bro there. People of any gender can be a film bro. I'm using that very expensively.
To be one, so
Yeah.
I have very strong opinions on the film bro thing anyway, which maybe this will lead into that.
But there's this moment where they cannot figure out that the reason that Paul Thomas Anderson cast Adam Sandler is because he likes his work and thinks he's a good actor.
Right. And he is a good actor.
He is. I really liked what's that stupid movie called? Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that, but I heard almost totally good things about it.
I watched it. I heard all the hype, and I watched it, and I thought, yeah, this movie's fun. It's fine. And then almost immediately it settled and it crystallized in my head as I had a really good time with that movie, and I'd watch it again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I heard the sort of meme thing about it was how stressful it was to watch. I had a very hard time digesting that, trying to figure out what people meant. Seeing someone sort of
Sylvie. I could feel Sylvie just developing an opinion here.
Yeah. What is it?
Self-professed bro.
It's just I guess it is stress. There's this whole thing going on right now where people react very strongly to things that were going on in film a couple decades ago or longer ago.
Okay.
Because they've been gone for so long. And I think that's kind of why Uncut Gems got the reputation for being this really tense thriller. Like, it's got a good...
Yeah.
It is stressful. Like, I'm not taking that away from it.
But I mean, Collateral is also a stressful movie.
That's literally the comparison I was thinking of.
Collateral.
Clasping your hands, Sylvie. Yeah, Collateral is a Michael Mann movie, I think, which has a super great premise, which is that a taxi driver takes on a client who
this is
a
Tom
full
Cruise
murderer.
and
Jamie Foxx, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, yeah. I have this movie, I just haven't seen it.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. I love Collateral.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I haven't... Should I watch Heat, Sylvie?
I like Heat. I contend that Heat is, I can't get into this. We'll never talk about what we're here to talk about today, but Heat is yaoi to me. Heat is boys love.
Everything is yaoi to you.
No, that's not true. I can't I'm trying to think of an example right now, but there's a lot of things that aren't. A lot of things are yuri to me.
Is it a 50-50 split? Or is it...
No, sometimes things just don't have any sauce at all.
Everybody's going to notice, I hope, that the audio just drastically changed. And that's because I had a button pressed that makes the audio better for me and worse for all of you when I stream. So I pressed that button.
Oh my God.
I pressed that button and it made everything better.
Hello, everybody. We are friends at the table. We have been friends at the table for nearly the last decade, and we continue to be. My name is Jack. You can find me on co-host at JDQ and on Twitter at NotQuiteReal. I am joined today by Sylvie.
Hello, I'm Sylvie. You can find me everywhere at Sylvie Bullet.
Also with me here today...
Also, we have TikTok, friends_table, and you're watching this on Twitch if you're watching this live, but twitch.tv/friendsathetable. How you doing?
Hello, chat. Finally, marshalling the controls of this stream.
I've got the buttons.
The man with the buttons. Who are you?
Keith Carberry. Hi, my name is Keith Carberry. You can find me on Twitter at Keith J. Carberry. You can find the Let's Plays that I do at youtube.com/runbutton.
What are we doing here today?
So, Jack, we are a mere $1,000 and change away from our goal of doing a mini watch podcast of the very long, very good anime Hunter x Hunter, which you have neither seen nor really heard almost anything about. I want to say this was off air, and I know that it's not about Hunter x Hunter, but Jack's unfamiliarity with the genre extends as far as to not having recognized Bulma from Dragon Ball Z, even when it said Bulma when they bought her from the Fortnite store.
I will say I looked up the design, and it isn't one of them. It's the newest, like, Dragon Ball Super design of Bulma, which is definitely less iconic than the DBZ and Dragon Ball looks.
It's true, but it's really just a different hair. It's really just a different haircut. And she had different haircuts all the time in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Right. What I will say is that while my unfamiliarity was such that I did not know Bulma, my taste was good enough that I did purchase the character because I thought I want to run around the Fortnite island looking like whoever this is.
And it was a good decision.
Yeah, it's fun. Although I have the random thing on Fortnite because part of the fun of it is being like the random character selection because part of it's like, who am I going to be this time? Right. Oh, I'm going to be that fucker from Dead Space on the Fortnite island.
Which thing that Fortnite absorbed am I going to morph into?
That is tremendously... I'm sorry?
Peter Griffin? Is he in it yet?
I don't
think so, but
That's
I feel
fucked.
like they should put him in it.
Justice for Peter Griffin.
I think that the thing that Fortnite is a very particular kind of malicious and a very cruel kind of extractive.
It's pure evil.
Oh, yeah, it is.
But like Keith said, I take a kind of cold joy in what thing has Fortnite eaten am I going to be when the game loads.
Yeah. It's a paint thinner. You put in everything. It comes out as a goop, and then you put the goop into a mold, press it down, and then boom, you've got an everything colored, Peter Griffin shaped.
Did you ever see that short running toy which allowed you to, through the production of molten metal, die cast your own Hot Wheels cars?
No, that sounds really good.
That rules.
It does. It rules.
You were making. It was like a kiln, basically. They sold like a kiln to children. Kiln.
They were helping kids become smithies. Yeah.
Yeah, and they should.
Mm-hmm.
Become smithies.
It's something we've lost.
Yes, that is something we've lost.
Bring back the metal trades.
Bring back metallurgy is due for a comeback.
Yeah,
metallurgy metallurgy still happens, but it is relegated to the realm of the corporation. Home metallurgy now. This is what I should return. Yes, failing 01 in the chat says the children yearn for the forges. It's true. Now, before we continue, I would like to make an ask of the chat, which is, I know nothing about Hunter x Hunter.
Right.
Keith and Sylvie know a lot about Hunter x Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I am reading the chat during this stream so that I can properly engage.
Sure.
So I would like everybody to be extremely cautious about not just spoilers, but also coy, fun spoilers. I don't want to see any of this shit where it's like Jack doesn't know about the orb, you know?
Is there an orb?
It's going to be so funny when we get to the orb.
Because I so much of the fun of this is like I genuinely don't know.
And no fake spoilers like I did that will make Jack think that you spoiled something, but you actually didn't.
Orb chat will be banned on first sight. Classic orb. Okay, so what I said, a very short time ago was, if we hit a certain sub goal on the Patreon in order to move towards the Hunter x Hunter show, Keith and Sylvie will show me a Hunter x Hunter screenshot, and I will interpret it live for you. Mm-hmm. And we hit the goal very quickly, which was great. And I'm really excited by people's interest in this show. Was it you who pitched this first, Sylvie, or was it Keith?
I thought this was your idea.
This sort of came about because I think we just all kind of happened to be like engaged. Like, I think a big thing was when it came to they added it to the Shonen Jump app, and so a lot of like people started talking about it again, and some people started watching it again. I know that Austin and I talked about the show, and like Dre and I have talked about it too. And then I think we were just kicking around like things we could do, and it was either Austin or I threw it out there, and here we are.
Very much had the vibe of like a placeholder name that you suddenly realize you're really invested in. When we were talking about like various other limited run shows we can do, either you or Austin was like for example, a limited run Hunter x Hunter show.
I think that was Austin, yeah.
We just kept talking about it. And we were like, well, shit, that might actually be the show.
Because Austin had recently watched it. Dre had recently watched it. Every time they would talk about having seen something, me and Sylvie would both be like, Well,
then I started watching it again, too.
And I had just finished watching it again on my own anyway.
It's good. It's good. And so if you want to help me watch Hunter x Hunter for, I think, the 4th time, go to friendsatthetable.cash.
What is the specific goal that we're aiming for, and how close are we to it? I know Keith said just shy of $1,000 or something.
Just shy of $1,300.
Do you have the exact number? Because when I go to look, it will be in Canadian dollars.
Yes, the same thing happens to me with Great British Pounds, despite the fact that I live in Los Angeles.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So it is, the number is 30,000, and the number we're looking for is 1,284 more dollars.
That's incredible. And you can get to that by going to friendsatthetable.cash. I want to say how much people's support has meant since we revamped the Patreon. It was a lot of work to make those changes, kind of spearheaded by Art. And it was kind of scary to make those changes, to be like, how is this going to go down, and how are folks going to feel about it? But we are so grateful and so heartened by the response that those changes have gotten.
Yeah, it went really great. It was definitely nerve-wracking for everybody, especially since we've been kicking around these changes, wanted to make them for like
literally years.
Yeah. Well, it was very sweet. Our old Patreon was like, we've made over 250 episodes. It's like, we've made so many episodes of Friends at the Table now. And I think we've just fully removed that number. But if you are interested in a number, the number to hit is at the 30K mark.
Yeah.
We will make this limited run.
And we don't know how many episodes that means. It's not, this isn't like a multi-year long thing where we're going to do, 3 episodes and watch. This is like, I don't know. I don't want to put a number on it. We have to like look at the because all the seasons are, I would say, the difference in length between seasons is comical. So
yeah, I think arcs instead of seasons is a sort of thing we should be looking at. We can talk about it later. But even then, there's like
that's what I didn't. I meant arcs. Yeah, I mean we're talking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because like. I'm going to slip and say something. We got to be careful here.
Right. So we're going to have to go through and look at the episodes and be like, how many episodes does this deserve? How many does this deserve? And then, that'll take actual time to figure out. But we will do it. And the episodes will come out, presuming that we get to that 30,000 number.
Now, how many screenshots have you got for me today?
Well, okay. Do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to tell you the number you're expecting to hear?
I would like you to be honest. I think it's important that we are honest.
This is a test that Gon would have. This is something someone would say. Do you want to guess, or do you like that's an answer someone would give him in my mind,
So the answer that you're expecting me to say is 3. The answer that I actually have is 6.
What?
Well, I'm not saying that I'm going to give you all of them. I'm just saying that that's what I have.
Oh, damn! You did. Oh my god.
So I have mine. I have Sylvie's. I have Austin's.
Austin has submitted one.
And then I have it's not 6. I accidentally included the logo here as one of them. So I have 5. So I have 2.
Okay.
I have 2 that I couldn't not at least put on here, and we'll see if we have a minute to donate to that at the end.
Okay, cool. I would also like to say that last night I dreamt that we had this conversation.
Yes.
And as part of that, I dreamt a screenshot that was shown to me.
I'm so excited for that.
We need to start with this.
Oh, we start with the dream?
I was thinking that maybe...
actually, wait, we should close with the dream.
Okay. I was going to say...
Then maybe you can sort of... Okay. I was thinking you could use the information you gleaned from our screenshots to sort of interpret... Like, see if anything that you've sussed out... I don't know.
Psychically.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a big believer in this sort of thing. Astral projection and manga writing in your brain, etc.
Yeah. The chat is asking if I can interpret the logo real quick. Obviously, I've seen the Hunter x Hunter logo before, but I don't think I've seen it in this vertical treatment. I think I've just seen, like, them next to each other with the very striking green X.
Well, I like this one because this one is a little bit thematic to me.
Yes. well. So, Hunter x Hunter is a mirrored title. even spoken with this X in the middle. It sort of gives the impression of two things being mirrored, and that's really being shown here.
Yeah.
I like that an H looks the same mirrored as it does the other way around, except here we've got this tall ascender on the left-hand upper H. Maybe this hunter is the boss. Because they're tall.
Yeah, maybe that hunter's the boss.
Maybe
that's taller.
Or maybe just is taller.
And this raises a really interesting question that I wonder if we're going to get to with the screenshots, which is, okay, well, so firstly, is this show about hunters?
Yes.
What is the word hunter doing in the title of the show? I had assumed it was about hunters because it's called Hunter x Hunter.
Right.
And if so, are there two hunters, or is it like a reflection of the self?
Oh.
Ooh.
No. Is it two different... Did you say no?
Yep, no, you're wrong.
Zero introspection on this show.
I'm sorry, that was a joke.
Something I do like is that the U is slightly overlapping the other U, which doesn't happen in any of the other letters. I don't think that has any deep meaning, but I think it's a nice logo treatment. Well, that's all I have here. Really.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say no, that it has deep meaning.
Yeah,
but I did have to think about
it. Wait, the U? Whether the U has deep meaning?
Well, the fact
way
that
U
it
is slightly occluding
the other U in a way that none of the other letters do.
I can see the interpretation there. I could see it.
Okay.
Yeah. When was this show made?
That's a very interesting question, Jack, because it was made twice.
What?
They made
Hunter x Hunter.
It was made. That's exactly what it is. The first time they made the first Hunter, the second time they made the second Hunter. No, so the manga has been being written since the 90s and is still being written. The original anime came out in 1999, and then they basically redid it, and it came out in 2011.
Yes.
And I believe that they both cover the exact same period of events.
I think that the new one goes further because was more material, I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much had been done post 1990.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, 2011 has a little extra. Oh no.
Yeah, 2011's the one that has more. Yeah. 2011 has like.
I just saw the words 2011 and I was like, that's forever ago. Surely that's the older show, even though I just gave.
Yeah, no, you did say 1998, I believe, or 99.
99.
Yeah,
the original show. How much more for the chat? How much more does 2011 have? Unless Sylvie, you know.
Hold on, let me look. Oh shoot, I only have the episode list for the
But they did really set out to try and make the show again.
Yes, yeah.
And if we get to make this show, I'm sure that we will end up talking about the kind of double adaptive move, right? Of first making an anime from a manga and then making that anime again, and discussing how intentions might have changed or how the thing they were trying to make might have changed in the remaking. But it sounds like their initial goal really was not to do anything more complicated than let's make the show again.
Let's make the show again.
Yeah.
So I have
looking
the answer.
at the
it
show,
stops right before the ants.
Yeah, pretty well. A little bit more. It depends. So there was an OVA. This is where I'm getting into my anime club shit. There was an OVA that sort of gets appended on to the end of the original one. So the TV episodes are 62. There's 62 TV episodes of the original Hunter x Hunter, but then these later released things add up to an extra 30 episodes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, which does leave us right before ant time, the infamous ants.
The infamous ants. The ants are really the only thing I know, and I'll say this off the top.
And
here's what I know about
anything
Hunter
about them. You just know about that you know the words.
Yeah, I know. Here's what I know about Hunter x Hunter. I can have a hazy image of one of the characters in my head. He wears orange. I think he wears a headband. That's the first thing I know. The second thing I know is that there is a beloved, renowned arc called the Chimera Ant arc that makes people very excited. And that's,
Jack, are you colorblind?
Jack, you did describe Naruto.
Yeah, oh yes,
So
yes.
two of Naruto's defining traits is wears orange
and headband. Okay, right. I'm glad that you caught that it was Naruto and not what I assumed, which is that maybe Jack was colorblind and sees green as orange.
No, that was Naruto.
So this is his third show that you don't know anything about.
Yes. Well, no, I know what Naruto looks like.
Well, now you do.
Now I do. Previously, if you'd asked me if I knew anything about Naruto, I'd say, I don't know shit. Yeah. I don't know what that guy looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Austin in the chat says, what if Jack watched all of this and was like, so that's Naruto?
There's so much hunter talk in Naruto.
Yeah. All I know is that there is, a very well-regarded arc, lengthy arc, called the Chimera Ant arc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, and I really believe that that's it.
And we're going to make sure that stays it for now. Like, you're going to learn eventually when you get to when we
right, and we have the screenshots, obviously.
I'm just reminding the chat because if people joined late, don't spoil anything. Be nice. Yeah.
Do we want to go to the first?
I think we should.
Okay.
So whose is this?
By the way, I declined to screen share with you because it was too much of a headache.
That's fine.
So I figured that you'd get it enough from the Twitch thing and it would update fast enough.
Yeah. I'm not worried.
Okay.
Right, I think.
Oh, whoa.
There you go.
Whoa. Okay, whose screenshot is this?
This is my one.
Wow. Sylvie. Now, how quickly did you know that this was the screenshot that you would like to choose?
I knew that this was the general, that within the sort of like 5 or like 10 episode stretch of where I was gonna find a screenshot. And then I just sort of scrubbed through a couple until I got to the scenes I was looking for.
Incredible. We are looking at a sports court. Now, I would describe this initially as either a basketball court, but the orb that the character is holding is not a basketball. I would also describe it as potentially a volleyball court, but there is a net missing. There is no net. Mm-hmm. Or a dodgeball court. It could be dodgeball. That might be the ball that our characters. So we have a character in the left hand with his back to us. He's holding. He's got big hairy arms. He's got a ring on his index finger, and he's holding up what looks like a black and yellow dodgeball, probably. In his left hand, he is wearing a sleeveless maroon sweater with a logo on the back. And the logo is dark maroon. It's sort of almost black. And it is how would I describe this? It looks a little bit like the M of Millennium Break. It's like a sort of a weird 4-pointed star that has been squished, that has been squashed. The chat is pointing out
if you were putting
these.
Oh, sorry. You continue.
The chat is pointing out that these might be the shadows of his shoulder blades.
Yeah.
This is something that might be clear in motion, obviously, as the symbol would appear or disappear. Yeah. But this could just be a very strong man with very well-defined shoulder blades. He has spiky...
Well, the chat is wrong. It is a logo. And if you're putting on your sort of marketer cap, what sort of company do you think this logo might be used for?
Who's the fast food joint that has the star as its logo?
I don't know. That sounds like Carl's
It has
Jr.
two names, Hardee's or Carl's Jr.
Okay, I was right. Okay.
That's my answer. Hardee's or Carl's Jr.
So this is if you were to redesign Carl's Jr. / Hardee's, maybe a sort of Millennium Break M that gets kind of wonky in the middle.
I suppose, yes.
Yeah.
This man is threatening to throw the dodgeball at a child or a very small adult. This is a slight figure who is also wearing a white sleeveless shirt, grey shorts, some cute little shoes. These do not look like suitable shoes. These look like, I don't know. I don't know what these look like.
This is Sasuke, by the way.
This character's name is Sasuke. This person has...
That's another Naruto joke, Jack. I'm sorry.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that. I thought that this person...
It was for everyone
Sasuke.
in the world besides you.
No fear on this person's face. In fact, probably no fear, because behind this individual... What pronoun should I be using for this slight person?
He, him.
Okay, behind this person is a... is a gorilla with a human head, sort of, and a very well-defined six-pack. An eight-pack, if we're counting his
An
pecs.
eighth-pack.
An eighth-pack. This figure is leaning forward on his knuckles like a gorilla stands, and really, you know, bar the coloration, this fella's 8-pack is pale, is tan colored, to match the color of his chiseled human-esque face.
What's he doing there?
Like what is he doing there? Great fucking question, Keith.
Yeah.
He is protecting this boy, this slight individual. I think that he is the reason.
I think we can say he's a boy.
Yeah,
I think that's not a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler.
He is
Just
the reason
to
why
save you
this
some
boy
time.
is unafraid of the dodgeball wearing, shoulder bladed, spiky haired fellow in the foreground.
Is there anyone else here?
Yes, there is the character from the background of a Sailor Moon episode. In the far distance, behind the...
It's a cameo from the author's wife's show.
Oh. Whoa, did she write Sailor Moon?
Yeah. Yep.
She sure did.
Wait, the Hunter x Hunter's author's wife was the creator of Sailor Moon?
Sure was.
This fucking rules.
They met after each... I think she had already made Sailor Moon when they met, and he was making Yu Yu Hakusho at the time.
I think that's right,
incredible.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Is there a... this is a whole question, right? Where it's like, watching the two shows together, is there some sort of visible overlap, or is it generally just two creators who are interested in their own things doing their own things?
I think it's more the latter.
Yeah.
Like I think that
wouldn't
like
say they're
they
not interested in each other's things, but there's not. It's impossible. It's impossible to deny that the character you've noticed at the back does extremely look like a magical girl.
Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, yes. So this character in the background is wearing a sort of Lolita dress. It's a pink dress with a petticoat or frills. She also is wearing inappropriate shoes for what I have to assume is dodgeball. She has really cool hair. She has a magical girl high ponytail that descends into a little spiral. She's got a little pink collar. She's possibly buttons down her shirt. This is the dodgeball team of slight boy, sort of gorilla, and magical girl. Kind of magical girl. She's not even rendered like I associate a magical girl being rendered. She's rendered like a character from a magical girl, like a non-main character from a magical girl show. You know, this isn't, for example, Aria Joy. This is someone at an Aria Joy show. not in terms of the direct aesthetics, but in terms of the the role of these characters. In the background, there are two men with four. Wait, let me zoom in. Okay, this got more complicated. One of the men is wearing white. He's standing on the sidelines, and he looks like an umpire, and he has a number 4 on his shirt. He's wearing a fucked up hat. It looks like he's wearing a saucepan on his head. Oh, now that I look at the saucepan or something also has a 4 written on it. I'm going to call this fellow 4.
Okay.
Fair.
To his left,
4.
we are joined by... This one's tricky. Another fellow in a large blue coverall wearing a hood, almost like an executioner's hood, that falls down over his shoulders in the same blue. He's got maybe a metal or white plate on his forehead. I don't think it's a mask. I think it's something on his forehead, and his actual eyes are below. And he is wearing white gloves. I don't know if these two men are part of the game as players or are part of the game as the sort of rules apparatus. Is there anything else I am missing here in the description before we can sort of move on to talking about the image beyond, what is on the screen?
I don't think so.
Think
Very
you
thorough.
sort of got the key players. And yeah.
Yeah, shoulder blades fellow, slight boy, sort of gorilla, magical girl NPC 4, and the suited executioner.
Hold on, we got the suited executioner. Can we put that in something?
Yeah, the suited executioner is actually probably Palisade. I think that somewhere in the paint shop there is a suited executioner. Okay. So this is a game. There is some sort of a game being played here. And this is not what I expected to see, which I think is partly why it makes for a good opening screenshot. I was expecting to see some folks out, I would say, in the wilderness, in a forest, by a campfire.
And can you say why you expected to see that?
No, I thought, so firstly, I thought that Naruto was in this show. So anything I say is already,
That does make sense because Naruto is always in the wilderness.
I thought that I have so little to go on. I know that there are ants, and I know that the show is called Hunter x Hunter. So I sort of
Do you know the
assumed,
genre of this show?
I think that this show is a sort of cities exist, and it's probably modern, but I was picturing a sort of there are entities called hunters who go out and sort of do witching, do witcher business in a modern fantasy-ish world.
That is not crazy to say.
So it's for example, here's our boy, maybe this slight fellow, who is entering into a world to become a sort of hunter of dangers within the world. Sort of if Sailor Moon, instead of just blundering spectacularly into one or another threat to Tokyo, was actually being taken care of by the outer planet Senshi from the start, and was listen, there are bad things in the world, and we're going to train you to hunt them down. So I was expecting to see some outdoors sort of hunter business. I am not terribly surprised to see a game, though, because, I feel like I've seen enough anime to know that there are whole sort of, not necessarily arcs, but series of episodes in which our characters engage in a tournament or a game of some kind, It's this is the tennis arc where we all play tennis, or this is the Olympics arc, or the swimming races or something, So I'm not terribly surprised to see the dodgeball. I'm more surprised by the sort of breakdown of characters.
Who here do you think is a main character?
That's a great question.
The slight fellow.
Okay.
The white-haired boy. Actually, maybe this is a fantastic question, Keith, because if we can establish who the main characters are, put it this way. If this sort of gorilla was a main character, that would almost be more plausible than this being a world in which you show up to dodgeball practice. And this sort of gorilla is like, hi, I'm your teammate. You know? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are normal people within the world is a really interesting question, and is kind of similar to, adjacent to, who do we think are the main characters?
Because you're right, we have 6 figures on the screen. I
don't think Thor or the Hooded Executioner are main characters.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But of the 6 people on the screen, you would be hard-pressed to describe the makeup of this world. Is this the world where 1 out of every 6 people is a gorilla man?
Yes, fully. That is a great question. Is that so?
Did you know that 1 in every 5 people are gay? Did you know that 1 in every 5 people are a gorilla? Like,
okay. It's the shoulder blades dodgeball person with the ring is training. He is the one who is like, I'm going to help you to, I guess, be good at this. I don't know. I don't think that this dodgeball is actually very important. And then
in the scene, in the episode, or in the show at large?
In the show at large. This slight fellow with the hair is, I think, very important.
What makes you say that?
Because he's framed like a protagonist. You know, okay. He is who we're looking at here. I mean, this could just be the shot choice, you know, like this could just be like a POV shot, and we could switch back and see the fellow with the dodgeball, and we're like, well, he looks like the protagonist. But right now, you know, our focus is on the slight fellow and the gorilla man, and then behind him, world's best dodgeball team, the Sailor Moon NPC.
Right.
I think also he looks like the person that a show would be made about. You know, here's this character who we're going to mold and who is going to become our hero.
Okay. Do you have any lingering thoughts, Sylvie? Do you have any more questions that you want to pose to Jack? Jack, do you have any questions for us that you want us to answer?
Because I feel like Jack's done a very good job at sort of like wringing what they can out of this.
Yes.
So maybe we want to do a thing where we will like just like answer yes or no to like one thing for each screenshot that Jack's curious about, or do we want to like not do like that sort of gamification?
That's a fantastic question.
I think it's
Let's do one yes or no and one you're allowed to answer with a single sentence, because I trust you not to spoil things for me. You know,
how do we find out on the yes or no if Sylvie and I agree, or is that not important? We can both answer independently.
We can both answer
independently.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I have to know.
The funny thing is, before you say, I'm sorry for interrupting. It's funny because I would say that the character in here that is a main character usually so much looks like a main character, and just right now to me doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's funny your reading on this, whether you're right or wrong, because of how uniquely styled the character is currently right here. That's all I wanted to say.
This is fascinating. Okay, here's my question. Is this gorilla dude a main character?
By gorilla dude, you mean the guy standing behind the white hair boy? Yes?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
The answer to that this is your yes-no question?
Yes.
No.
No.
What?
Not at all.
No, not even close.
You say not even close. Wait. Does this fellow have a name in the story, or is he just the guy who's here with dodgeball?
I don't know if we can answer. I don't know if we are able to explain anymore. We're given our rules.
Fair enough. That could be my sentence question, but that's
Yeah, do you want that to be your sentence question? Because it does have a good answer.
No.
Okay.
Here's my sentence question. Why is the hooded executioner dressed like that?
Huh. Okay. That's an easy question to answer, but I don't know exactly how much to give. I'm comfortable giving the whole thing.
I have Keith, I'm going to message you like a quick, like a very simple sentence, and you can, if you want to add more to it,
okay.
But this was my knee-jerk answer. I don't want to step on it. Okay.
I think that because Jack is curious, we should give them a little more, but I will use that as the basis. There is a character in this episode that can create sort of puppet figures.
Yeah, that is much better than what I had.
Oh, that's it? That's all you're saying?
Yes.
It's one sentence.
That answers who the executioner is.
That does, yeah. I think
that is such a good That is such a good. Okay, so I mean, you've just done a really good proof of concept for how these questions can work for the future screens, which is like that question only invites more questions, which is which is wonderful. So what we've learned from here is that the sort of gorilla fellow is not even close to a main character.
Correct.
It's just sort of that's Robert, and he's here today.
Maybe it's Robert. I'll tell you, Jack, I couldn't tell you this gorilla's name if he had a name.
Wow. Okay.
I genuinely don't know.
Remarkable. And the hooded executioner, the only information I have about what's that guy's deal is in this episode there is someone who makes puppets. Wonderful. Don't answer these questions. Is that a puppet? Or is this some way they can protect themselves against the person who makes puppets?
Oh.
Or are they the person who makes these constructs, and to do so they have to wear a boiler suit and an executioner's mask? Wonderful.
Wonderful. Should we get to the next one?
Yeah, I think we should. So I guess
the fun of this is I don't know what, because you had an idea for what you were doing, but you didn't weren't settled when I saw it.
And
so
that is here, but I have decided to save that one for a potential final thing. Because
before you move on,
I had been agonized. Okay, go ahead.
I would like to say at the conclusion of this first screenshot, would you like to see us make a show about this? If the answer is yes, then take yourselves over to friendsatthetable.cash to support us on Patreon. Your support will allow us, if we meet our goal at 30K, to produce a limited run show in which, and it won't necessarily just be the three of us, watch.
No. I expect it to not be the three of us.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably be there. It might even be rotating at some points. We'll talk about that stuff. But okay, please continue, Keith. Sorry, I just wanted to do the ad break between,
So, right. So the backstory to this is that I had a screenshot that I thought was so good, but like was maybe just an ounce too spoilery.
Wow.
And I really from the day that I picked my screenshot over a week ago until today was like, I really, really want to send this one, but I don't know if I can or should. I have a lot of reasons why I think it's okay to do it, but I still was like, maybe I shouldn't send that one. I have it here, invisible, and if we decide we want to do one more at the end, and Jack, you're like, I don't think this will spoil me. I trust Keith when he says it's not that spoilery. We can do it. If not, I have two others that I'm deciding. One is a fun one without a ton going on visually. There's stuff going on visually, but it doesn't have as much as the other one, which is less fun of a scene, but has a lot to chew on.
Interesting. interesting?
I feel like it's a big spoiler, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, then let's not do it. I think we should trust, because I can't really arbitrate this, but I think that we should err on the side of caution. Right?
I think it has all of the. I think it appears as if it were a big spoiler.
I'm gonna. I don't know. Is it the one you sent me?
Last week, yes.
Wait, the one? No, the one you sent me today.
No. I sent it to Austin last week. I sent it to you today.
Did Austin think it was too spoilery? Because if Austin, I'll defer to if I'm outruled 2-1 here.
You both were on the opposite side. Sorry, I ate food at a bad time. You both thought it was too spoilery, but neither of you were that definitive about it, and I'm pretty sure that it's not.
I'll type my reasoning.
But it's not. But it's at the end anyway, so we don't have to worry about it now. I want.
Okay. Sorry, I thought we were deciding whether to do it. No.
My bad. I that is like my second extra one that I have.
Okay, let's percolate.
So your choices are, Jack, fun scene, not as much stuff going on, not as much visually to chew on. Much more to chew on, but less visually fun scene.
Neither spoilery. Okay.
Neither spoilery at all.
More to chew on.
More to chew on. Okay, I can do that.
Delicious. I'm so excited.
Whoa.
Oh, this is great. Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, wow. Wow. Sylvie, are you able to describe in a way that isn't a spoiler why you had this reaction to this shot?
I really like a character in this image.
Just
and
one?
You're excited to see them show up.
You know, I like a few characters in this image, but I'm a freak for one character in this image.
I wonder. I mean, I have a good idea which one, but
I can reveal it once
different.
Jack goes through them, you know?
Feel to the last screenshot.
It is, yes. It's a much different vibe.
This is, I mean, dark, not necessarily in, I wouldn't describe this as particularly dark tonally, but definitely dark in terms of the image composition. We have a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures facing us, arranged in a sort of loose semicircle, looking at.
You did undercount by 1, but you can barely see the last one.
Wait. 1, 2, 3.
Oh gosh,
4.
I got jump scared.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Are you not counting the one that's facing away from us?
No, they are looking towards a figure.
Okay, sorry.
On the very far right, there is one cut off, and on the very far left, there is one.
Yeah, this is beautiful. They are looking at, presumably in some sort of meeting or conversation with a figure facing away from us, sitting on something out of focus in the foreground. My gut was that this person is sitting on rubble or is sitting on rocks or something, but the composition of this shot suggests that this meeting is consequential, and the person might just as easily be sitting on some ruined something that has been destroyed, or a body covered in a cloth, or this is not an easy, straightforward meet and chit chat that is happening here. Let's start with the figure facing. Oh, they're in it's nighttime, or they are in an alley with very tall buildings, so the light has not come down very clearly. They could be actually inside a building, a ruined building. There's a large grey wall in the back with 2 windows, and yes, I think they are inside a ruined church or something. You can see that big open space of the nave of a church, or a meeting hall. The figure facing away from us is thin, is very angular. And I'm zooming in to look at it. At first, I thought this person had a big... two possible options here. Either this person has a big shock of white hair, and they are bending down. They have their head tilted downwards, so their hair is kind of coming up behind them. Or, and this is maybe my other guess, this person has a sort of spiky white fur collar, almost. Like an ermine collar, that you can sort of see the dark shape of their head coming up behind. They have narrow shoulders. They are wearing black. If I zoom in, I can see that they have something. They look quite relaxed, actually. They're sitting quite calmly, with their hands in their lap. They have something in their lap. I can't make out what it is. It looks like a piece of fabric and a piece of metal to the right of them. I'm not sure. So that is, in many respects, our most straightforward figure, this sort of ominous entity facing away from us. Shall I go left to right? Because it's going to begin pretty strong, I think.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side of the image is a embalmed person. She is sitting calmly. She is not the focus of this scene, which is so fun. Between the sort of gorilla fellow in the first image, it turns out not being a main character whatsoever, and this person kind of just framed sideways, at the very edge of the frame. I really like this. This person has been wrapped head to toe in bandages, it looks like. Alternatively, they could be chitinous. This could be plates, almost like a woodlouse or a beetle or an armadillo, or pangolin or other placed animals. But I do think that this is an embalmed person. She is wearing lace-up red boots. She is a fashionable embalmed person, and what looks like possibly sunglasses. Something on her face. Some sort of something on her face. She's got a sort of Brendan Fraser Invisible Man type thing. Oh shit, maybe she's invisible. Classic way of revealing an invisible person is wrapping yourself up in bandages. So that's a possibility. Could also just be an embalmed body. Can't tell if she's wearing boxing gloves. Do you see that? She's got a sort of boxing glove-like thing. Yeah. That could be a motorcycle helmet. I don't know. Next to her is a Ronin. A skinny, angular Ronin with a tall sort of top knot or ponytail, a very sharp face, wearing a pale pink, sort of dusky pink robes. He's got his hand on a katana as though he's getting ready to draw. Next to them is a fellow in a racing driver's outfit. Green racing driver's outfit. White shoulders on his jacket, red stripes, green sort of track jacket almost. Now, next to this person, this is interesting. This is a character I have seen before. I don't know anything about them,
that's interesting.
but I feel like I have seen a screenshot of this fella. This guy's built like a brick shithouse. He is wide, strong, big muscles around his neck. How am I going to describe this? He looks like his earlobes are attached to the front of his vest. He's wearing like a dungarees almost, like overalls, but keeping those overalls up, wild, is his earlobes. Moving on. Partly hidden behind the... Wait, shit. Oh, wow. I just noticed a detail. This fellow with the white shock facing us has an upside-down cross on his back.
Oh, I was going to mention that you didn't mention that, and then...
No,
forgot.
that was just the balance of my screen, the light. That's really cool. I don't want to dwell on it because we've got a lot of characters to see, but this person is wearing some sort of uniform. And the upside-down cross imagery is interesting. We'll get to that. Behind him is a tough little soldier boy. This person looks like a town guard in a Dragon Quest game, wearing a pink doublet, sort of regular person's hair. Looks like I'm here. I'm tough. I'm here to save the kingdom. Now, here we go.
Here,
This
I'll
person's
help
framing.
people in the chat who are agreeing that it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, this person.
There you go. Maybe that'll help a little bit.
Focus of the image. We have a very short person, possibly a child, wearing who looks like the most natural sort of pair between this.
Sorry, what did you? Sorry, I didn't hear you start describing this next person.
A very small person, possibly a child.
Okay.
And there's a kind of natural pair going on between this person and the person with the cross on their back. You know, their eye lines are matching. They're looking at each other, you know, these two characters. I think that this is our interlocutor, you know, here. This person has got their hands behind their back. What pronoun should I be using for this small person?
I believe
he, him.
But I'm gonna double check.
I'm like 95% sure.
Yeah, he, him.
Dressed in black. He's wearing almost like a black dress, like with a really cool neckline, a sort of like a V-shaped neckline with a paler gray fabric underneath to make a collar that rises way up, like a little bowl for his head to sit in, to just below his nose. So his whole, you know, the bottom part of his face and his jaw is covered. On this collar, there is what looks like a skull. Pretty spooky. And this person has black hair that kind of falls down partly over their face. They've got their hands behind their back. They seem pretty calm. Next to them is a JRPG character. She's got
Sheena from Tales of Symphonia.
Truly, she's got spiky red hair tied up in a ponytail. She's wearing a white shirt and a wide belt, short black shorts. I think probably the bow from her hair is hanging back behind her in two red things. She's got these incredible pale pink leg warmers going on. She looks great. Crow TRM in the chat says, standard issue ninja lady. Yeah, absolutely. And then to her right is another small figure, possibly a child. This person is wearing a single colored, very long sleeved green dress with two pleats at the bottom. You can see their feet poking out. This person has long blonde hair that falls forward over their face, such that only a little tiny sliver of their eye is visible. And then person on the right, I can see hair, one tit, green, red skirt, and leg. Hard to say much about this person. Sort of just like a lady here, half a lady, a third of a lady.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the people.
That is all the people.
Anything I've sort of missed?
I don't think so. I think you hit everything. What's the vibe of this place? Oh, you sort of touched on it when you said that they were standing over a dead body, but what?
Sinister. I think they are in a ruined church. I think that they are having a meeting. They're having a parley. Maybe this fellow with his back to us is like, oh, I'll talk to you. We can meet. Come to the ruined church at midnight. And he's like, come alone. And our folks are like, you know, we don't come alone. I'll bring my 9 super weird friends.
What do you mean by our folks?
Our folks are the people facing us here.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So this is one whole group facing off against the single individual here.
Yes, who I don't know is a villain, but is definitely like a sinister entity. There's a vibe going on here that is concerning. And they say, we can't come alone. You know, you're getting 9 of us or you're getting nobody. And the person says, alone or all 9 of you, it doesn't matter. Be at the church. That's the vibe that I think is going on here. This is very dark. This is very, very sinister.
I got a little bit of that last person's face that I realized was cut off.
Oh, Austin has a good thing in the chat here, which is Jack should get to ask for the name of one person in this photo.
We will add that to our trio
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
things.
I agree.
We can. You did ask if the gorilla had a name, so I guess that counts for the first one.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And the answer to that is we don't know, presumably.
We don't know.
I
or
checked.
care.
No.
No?
No. Okay, great.
No.
I'm glad to have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should say that the woman who previously was obscured on the right-hand side of the image, we can now see she has a kind of an angular face, a sort of a sharp nose. She's looking a little sour.
Yep. And how many tits total?
Huh?
How many tits total?
Both of them.
Both of them.
All.
All full set.
Full set. Yeah.
Full set.
Because
on
before
Earth
it was
for most people.
It was 50-50 shot. Maybe it is just one. Maybe it's just a picture.
I don't know how the world works. You know?
Right.
True.
Okay.
Before questions, let's see. Questions to Jack about this.
Yes. Before we move on to the final questions, you know?
I'd like you to imagine what they're talking about.
I feel like we got a little of that.
It's a parlay,
It's
right?
a parlay, but I would like a totally hypothetical
that's
specific.
a great question. Yeah. Okay. I mean, and it's worth saying that there's no way I can extrapolate that from this image. No amount of reading this image. So we're just fully in the
You're not going to be able to
possibility
answer
space
my
here.
next question either.
Okay, great. So what has happened is that the 9 people who are facing us are sort of like a crew that has been assembled by our heroes. Maybe for the purposes of this arc, maybe for the purposes of this like episode, you know? And something has gone down in a big way with this person with the upside down cross on their back, and our crew thinks that they are involved in some, you know, scheme, some sort of evil deed. But maybe they've been involved in an evil deed in the past, but they need to get to the bottom of it. So they arrange this very tense meeting. You know, it's like, oh, finally, we can get a face-to-face with this person who's been a thorn in our side for so long. And it's kind of climactic because, you know, this is like, oh, right, it's, well, why don't we go and talk to the demon? You know? Not because demons, you can't talk to them very often, but because stuff has to be very bad or very tense or very interesting. Maybe they're trying to recruit this person to their cause, is the other thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Sylvie, did you have anything?
No, because I feel like I was going to ask like what like side do you think people like? Who do you think is the good guys here? But that was pretty much answered.
This is a fucking incredible question. I have another answer here, right? Which is none of these people are the good guys. And what we've got going on here is like the scene where the anime villain is like, now my witch is 5, you know? I need you to go out and hunt down like the protagonist who I still cannot picture.
Right. As at least we know is not a gorilla. Or not that gorilla.
Right. Not that gorilla. Right. You know, like that's one version of this scene, right? Where it's like my crew. I don't know why I'm giving this person this voice.
It's an interesting decision.
Yeah,
but I'm here for it.
Okay.
We need to hunt the hunter. I've assembled you all: embalmed person, ninja, racing driver, weird earlobe man, guard from Dragon Quest game, short child, ninja girl, small green person with yellow hair, and tall, sexy lady.
I do love how much it's affecting things that Jack has no idea how many hunters there are or aren't, really what they do.
It's great.
Yeah, I mean, so there's this I've been listening to Homestuck Made This World from Range Touch, which on the one hand is a pretty good touchstone because it's a limited run podcast about a specific media property. And on the other hand, you know, what Cameron and Michael do is really skilled and complicated, and I don't want to sell us by saying like we can do a ranged touch kind of thing with Hunter x Hunter, because that relies on like years of critical experience. It's not necessarily a bar I know we can hit. But there's a really interesting bit where Homestuck in the early stages of it is doing this moment where it's like, you thought we were doing one thing, psych, we're actually doing another thing. And Cameron has this whole bit where he says these psych outs don't work on me because the comic has already established there is no objective reality that I can rely on. No one event is, stranger or less strange than any other event. So for the comic to be like, psych, it's sort of like, I guess I'm being psyched. A meteor hit the planet at the end of the first, nothing here is surprising to me. And so given that my first encounter was this sort of gorilla fellow, any of these people could be the protagonist. Even the earlobe man, even the mummy.
They sure dress like protagonists.
But this is something that like I a lot of animes that I like also do constantly, which is bit characters or side characters have the fucking coolest costumes that you've ever seen and appear for 45 minutes and then disappear.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. This is a question. This is a fun one. This one's for the fans. Who here would be the best boyfriend?
Is there a clear answer here?
No.
No. Okay. And I would like to hear your answers, but you can
it's
only describe them.
Different versions of yes. Half of them say one thing, and half of them say all the other things.
Okay.
I can answer after, but
but you can't say the character's name. You have to describe.
No, I will not.
Like,
I will use the descriptions that you have provided.
Yeah. Earlobe man.
Okay.
I think Earlobe Man he's that character trope of like kind of menacing looking, kind of scary. What's going on with his earlobes? I cannot pass this image as anything other than his earlobes, and I'm not going to waste a question on that. I will come to that solution in its own time. But I think he's got a tender heart.
I think I like your answer. I have my reasoning for this one is that just in general, for the general populace, the title of best boyfriend in this image goes to the Ronin.
Okay. Interesting.
When we do the show, I can explain my reasoning. This can also be where I reveal who my favorite character in this image is, which is the guy with the cross jacket, and I would like him to be my boyfriend.
It wouldn't,
Sylvie,
why not? You provided, I think, the two sort of canonical fan answers, which is Samurai and Upside Down Cross.
I love everyone in the chat just being like, "Oh yeah, duh."
Yeah, I mean, this would have been my pick, Sylvie, and I saw this for you, and I saw this image, 8 minutes ago for the first time.
Yeah, I'm nothing if not consistent.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That tells me something about the image, right? I can get information about this character.
Yeah. Do you now have a more or less positive opinion of this character?
What do you mean more or less? I like the character more because Sylvie likes them.
Okay, there you go.
I think Sylvie has good taste in interesting characters. But I can't quantitatively say whether this person is like has more or less virtue, That's quite difficult to do. I think this person is a villain, but I think this person is a kind of anti-hero character who's going to kind of come up again and again,
Okay.
Come up meaning disappear and reappear from the show.
Appear in the show, yeah. And I think we'll probably, because these shows go on for so long, we'll have portions where we are working with them, or working against them, or working parallel to them,
Do you want one name?
Yeah, totally. Give me the Upside Down Cross fella's name.
Sylvie, do you want to say it?
Oh, yeah, I'll say it and then I'll send you how it's spelled canonically in the manga. So his name is Crollo Lucilfer. And where is it? I just had it. Okay, cool.
Lucilfer.
Yeah, and then this is from volume 34 in the official data book. Let me just pop this in our chat. That's how that's spelled. If you want to just take a peek.
Wait, Austin says, Jack, guess how it's spelled. Crollo Lucilfer.
Oh, sorry, don't look yet.
No, I haven't seen it. It's spelled CHROLO space LUCILFER. Crollo Lucilfer.
That is almost 100%. You missed an L. That's full marks as far as I'm
that is how it is typically spelled by people.
You're kidding me. What? You're joking.
Now, if you're looking...
am I about to learn something? Is it not spelled that way?
In the manga and in extra... there's a few extra things. I'm kind of just going off the wiki here because I'm behind on the manga. I haven't reached the volume 34 extras yet, but it is spelled QUWROFWRLC. Sorry, after QUWROF space WRLCCYWRLFH. It's like Welsh or something. It's fine.
Oh, so this is sort of a Kate Shee type thing.
Yeah, definitely. I truly don't know, but I do love that it's spelled that way. It is sometimes spelled with an R at the end instead of an H.
That's incredible. Wow, that is typically in itself telling.
Typically, it is spelled Crollo, CHROLLO, Lucilfer.
What is
the way you
what is he called in the show? Crollo.
Crollo, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's pronounced Crow. The Crollo Lucilfer is the pronunciation.
That is fascinating because this is a vibe. This is a whole vibe. Having a character called Crollo Lucilfer that is, I mean, shows of all kinds give their characters fucking incredible weird names. The fact that it's doing this sort of kind of Welsh spelling, I do not believe it's Welsh, but it's kind of trying to do a weird thing with its spelling.
Yeah,
makes me think that there is something sort of folk magic or dark magic or folkloric about this character, which is really interesting.
Ooh,
lovely. Okay, time for my questions.
Yeah, time for your questions.
I get one yes or no question, and I get one
single sentence answer question.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm spoiled for choice because there's 10 fucking weirdos in this. I've already got my Crollo Lucilfer. I can't focus on him because you want to get as much information from the image as possible.
You're going wide, not deep.
You're going wide, not deep. Although I might go deep on future images,
Right.
Let's see. And I'm not asking about the earlobes, so... And it's a yes/no question. So I want something that... Is the protagonist or a protagonist in this image?
No.
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 Does this show have a protagonist? I'm not asking this. That could actually be that would be... God, imagine if this show fully didn't have a protagonist and it was just 151 episodes of weirdos. We were doing the fucking Angela Carter's The Bloody Chamber here, but with... Oh, that would be great. God.
You will be getting new opinions on who you've seen is or isn't a protagonist with the next image.
Interesting. All right, now it's time for my... Okay. I want to say top marks from the sentence question last time. Perfect answer to the perfect question. Not necessarily to the perfect question. The question was fine.
Perfect question, Jack. Full marks
perfect
for question asking.
Thanks, Keith. What is the relationship between Crollo Lucilfer and the short person in black?
I think I can take this one.
Okay.
Crollo is the leader of the group that character is a member of. Keith, do you think I could add any more detail, or is that good?
If there's a little detail you're itching to add, then I think go for it.
I don't specifically have one. I just wanted to. I felt like I went too vague when I was thinking of when I was going to do this last time, and I want to make sure people are saying no more. And
yeah,
so these two are aligned. I was right with the very unsubtle costuming similarities between these two. These are members. What was your wording? Did you say that Crollo was this guy's boss?
Crollo is the leader
of the leader.
Crollo is the leader of the group. Yeah.
Right. So this is his subordinate. Oh, fascinating. So this makes me think that this person, this short person here with the skull on their sort of collar piece, really cool costume, is like, I have assembled these people to do the plan.
Yeah. To do the plan. The big plan. When they're going to hunt the hunter.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm less and less confident about what hunting is happening in this show. But that's fine. Anything else here, or do we want to hit the next image?
I think we're
ready to hit the next one.
This one was lovely. I had a great time with this one.
It's are we doing Austin's one next?
We are doing Austin's one next.
But before we do, would you like to hear us make a show like this?
Don't forget.
Yes, I would. I want to hear this.
It is actually one of the things I want to do most right now is make this show. I cannot. Please let us show Jack Hunter x Hunter, please, because now Jack can't see it until we do this show.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And you're gonna have to get watching because there's a lot of episodes of this.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, that bit I'm less worried about, but it's not less worried about. That bit I'm less stoked about, the actual time, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be time spent doing something fun.
What? So
go to friendsatthetable.cash if you'd like to help us with that.
Jack, before I turn over this page here, you have demonstrated your lack of knowledge of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Hunter x Hunter today.
I have, yes.
Is there a shonen that you are familiar with?
Let's see. List of shonen shows.
Yeah, did you ever watch the Pokemon anime like when you were younger?
No.
Okay.
No, I've seen a bit. I've seen like 3 seasons of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I liked it a lot.
That is a JoJo. Yeah, JoJo's definitely in that wheelhouse.
Yeah. While I would definitely not say that as I demonstrated by talking about Naruto, I am not. I don't have any degree of fluency in this genre, but I have seen enough of it that I have a passing familiarity with the genre conventions and with the kind of flow and feel of these kinds of shows. I had a really good time with JoJo, and I only stopped because of like time. There was nothing about the show that made me go, oh, I would like to stop watching. I didn't have time to keep watching it, and so sort of fell off there. Let me see what else I've read. No, I really keep meaning to get into Chainsaw Man. I've seen some My Hero Academia, but not a lot.
So now that is a good,
very by the book.
That is a good one for this. Because the thing about, we referenced this at the beginning with the Punch Drunk Love analogy, but the thing that is so interesting to me about Togashi's work, who did this and also Yu Yu Hakusho, is how much fun he has with conventions of the genre, and not just like subverting them, but also playing into them and then like taking very seriously what happens as a result of taking them seriously. And I'm interested in what because I'm assuming that you're not going to watch 500 episodes of Shonen in preparation of watching Hunter x Hunter. So I'm interested in what's going to happen when you watch this show that is like knees deep in convention in all the different ways that it is knees deep in convention, in mostly good ways, in some less interesting ways, but someone who's less familiar with the sort of material that it's playing with.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating, and I think that we are operating on right now on this stream. We are operating in a very particular, in a sort of very flawed analytical mode where we are. You two are trying not to say things to me. You know, we are operating on a level where people are holding cards close to their chest in terms of what's going on analytically, and I think that when we make the show, if we're lucky enough to be able to make it, it is going to be really interesting to be able to talk. You know, obviously, we'll try not to spoil things from the end of the show at the beginning, but to be able to talk more openly about, like, all right, okay, what is going on here, and how does this play for you versus how it might be playing for me, or you know, what to do with the way our own kind of interactions with this media, how is that affecting the way we're working? All this is to say, you know, what you're listening to now is obviously going to have some similarities with the show as we make it, but we are going to try and be a lot more open and honest about the thing we're watching and, you know, how we're feeling about it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm ready to change.
I think it's time. Oh,
this is an Austin Walker special.
Oh, what?
Nothing. I'm handling it.
Okay.
It's a good thing. Good thing.
Okay, good thing.
Huh.
There we go.
Hello.
Hi. Do you recognize anyone here?
No. I don't. Oh, wait. Is this person on the left here the slight white-haired fellow?
That is the slight fellow.
The slight fellow. That's
we have his guess.
Hi.
Hi, Austin. How are you?
Hello. I'm on the streets. I'm calling in from the streets. The streets is watching and also listening and calling in.
What can you see, Austin?
I see a sign that says "Everyone, everyone, everyone, welcome," and it's like a rainbow and trans rights flag color. That's like a bar, I want to say. And then I see another different bar that says "Cocktail Lab 7 Days." And I see like a picture of a sort of cartoon dog. And then
Incredible.
I see a thing that says retail medical space for lease. And then I see a bridge. And the sun.
Describe things we look at.
Yeah. This is our new
Very
show,
good at
everybody.
Yeah.
This is the next stretch goal for the Patreon, is describe the things around us from the wild. So
We do this, you know, now that we've been making the show for a long time and have certain expectations re audio quality, I feel like we do this less. But years ago, we used to do this much more frequently, and it is always a joy. It's just someone literally telephoning in.
Talk to me about this picture, Jack. It's important.
What I'm looking at is the picture you have sent, Austin, and this is very interesting in that you know we've got close-ups on characters for the first time. The last two were sort of wide shots. This is a Dutch angle. These three characters are kind of canted slightly. On the left, we can see how would I describe this color? It's like a very, very pale lilac-haired person who I've referred to as the slight fellow from the dodgeball game. Who is now rendered, you know, in a lot more detail, has these beautiful blue eyes, is wearing a sleeveless hoodie. It's because he's strong, he's working hard, he's training. And a green turtleneck underneath. His black hoodie has the letters TT on it in yellow, which is interesting. These could be Japanese characters also, or they could just be symbols. In the middle, the focus of this shot, we have a fellow looking very surprised. He's wearing a green jacket with double collars, double kind cuffs and a high collar, red piping around the jacket. He has black hair that has sort of green coloration kind of coming off it, and it's up at big spikes. His eyebrows are raised. He's looking shocked, and he is holding his hands out like he's doing telekinesis on a drinking tumbler, on a glass that is lifting into the air. This boy is levitating this glass, and he looks very shocked that he's able to do this. In the bottom part of the frame is a boy with short brown hair, spiky brown, very short spiky brown hair, big eyebrows. He's also got his mouth open. He looks like a character from Pokemon almost, and he's going, huh? And what's striking about this is that the green jacketed boy doing the actual spell, I suppose, the levitating, looks very shocked, and the small Pokemon boy also looks shocked, but the slight fellow wearing the jacket, wearing the sleeveless hoodie, looks calm and confident, you know?
Yeah.
Now,
I appreciate that you've identified they're doing a spell in this image, is what I understand.
but there is something that you've missed about what this spell might be.
Well, so
Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry. I was not saying that the spell was happening. I was saying that's what Jack said was happening.
Yes,
I
yes.
appreciate that you've given us your interpretation.
Well,
now that I look closer, I can see that the stem of the wine glass is, you see that the stem was kind of blending into the piping of his jacket.
Right.
That wine glass, I thought it was like a drinking tumbler, but that wine glass is connected to the table, to the bench.
it's a table. Yeah.
Which means that this is not levitating.
Right.
But
So
there is
what do you think
clearly
they're so in awe of?
That's a good fucking question, Keith. What
Great question, Keith. That is a fantastic question.
are they so in awe of? Okay, let's quickly run down some options.
Are there any other details in the photo that you're looking at?
Well, so there's a light in the background. There's a ceiling lamp, you know, like a
I'm sorry to have sent you on a pixel hunt. Apologies.
yeah. This background is really weird. It's a brown background with, again, this canted angle, this black line right through the middle of it. So I don't quite. It's like they're in a room with a brown wall and a brown table.
Yeah.
What else is in the image? Is there something I'm missing here, Austin?
Is that one of your questions, or?
No, it is not one of my questions. Is there anything in the glass? No, there is a slight disturbance on the top of the glass, you know? Which suggests, so one of my options was they have filled this glass with something, magically. They filled it with liquid, or they're in the process, or alternatively, they've emptied the glass of something, magically. Third magical option, they have made the glass. There's previously nothing there, and then this spiky haired chap who's surprised, boing, made the glass. Now,
Can
Chad
I
is
ask
pointing
you-
out that he is glowing, but that was barely worth mentioning to me, because that, for me, was part of the visual language of doing a spell, you know?
Right, sure. Can I ask you if you think this has anything to do with hunters or hunting, or is this an unconnected, unrelated thing?
Great question. This guy in green is a hunter, and he is learning that he has an ability that will help him hunt, whatever that is. So it's like they're at school. All three of the boys are at hunter school, right? Where they play dodgeball, presumably with the executioner and the semi-gorilla. And the slight fellow here with the lilac hair knew this was going to happen. He's like, I believe in you. You know, you can you can do this new thing. You can make something appear in this wine glass if you just believe, I suppose. And so they all gather round on the table, and he puts his hands around the wine glass and does the magic. And he's like, oh, I can do it. This is going to be really useful to me. As a hunter, small Pokemon dude, also shocked. Lilac-haired fellow is like, I knew it. I believed in you.
What do you think is useful about the spell?
Well, I mean, but what are we? But by what criteria are we classifying utility?
Yours.
Okay.
Oh, I have a new thing to add that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a sort of like a tram, like a ski lift style tram, lifting up above the city.
Whoa. Oh. Where do you think it goes?
That's a mystery. No one.
It goes to the top of the hill to ski down.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Sam's right.
I do not know what city Austin is in right now.
Sorry.
What is the utility of this? Why is making a thing in a wine glass useful to being a hunter?
Is that where you settled that something's being made in the wine glass?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Like that sound. You know?
Oh.
He puts his hands out.
Didgeridoo-ish.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I don't have a thing near me to make it sound. But
the noise you made just gave me, it was giving didgeridoo.
Yeah. He makes it in the wine glass. How is this useful to being a hunter? You know, I think he needs to think broader than the wine glass. He's like, let's start small. Let's make the thing in a wine glass. Let's say, for example, that he is able to make sort of airbender or waterbender style currents of air or water or, you know, stuff out in the wilds while he's hunting. That's very useful.
I like that answer. It's a fun answer.
Yeah.
That is a fun answer. Is there anything else that you have to say about this scene? Who is the Pokemon boy?
What kind of a question is that?
I have a question that's similar, but maybe a little broader that could tie in, which is like how do you think this crew's rolling together? Like, what's brought these boys together?
They're all sort of like, you know, when I say studying to be hunters, I don't think that there's necessarily like a hunter school. I think that these boys have sort of been taken in by this organization one way or another, maybe. But these are like classmates. They're like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're like linked by, you know, maybe they're all old friends, but...
Or they have like chemistry class together, basically.
Well, yeah, sort of. But again, I don't think this is like a real school type situation. I think that they are sort of like loosely affiliated in learning to be hunters.
Okay.
I see.
But they all grew up on the same block, mate. You know, that kind of a vibe, right? I do like that each of these characters is being drawn kind of differently, which is interesting. And I don't know anything about Small Pokemon Boy's outfit, but the two outfits that I can see are very differently too.
It's true.
Massive spoiler here. Pokemon Boy is also wearing something different.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Like strikingly different. Are these people from?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I would say all three of them have very different clothes on.
Oh no, I thought about it. I suggested, I entertained the idea that these might all have come from different worlds, but I don't think that that's true. You know,
like in a literal sense, like in a
literal
like
sense.
An isekai.
Right.
Yeah, like in an isekai. Yeah.
That's
but
fine.
no. Yeah, I don't think that's true though. I don't think that's real. Anything else that you want to hit here, or should we move on to questions?
I think
Let's do questions because I'm going to evaporate in like 5 minutes. So.
Okay, yeah, I really appreciate you coming in to help guide through this image.
Absolutely.
Did you say you were going to evaporate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm waiting the evaporation queue. I'm waiting to be
Are
evaporated.
you? Is
Austin's
the?
being boiled right now.
Are you in the?
yeah,
Are you in the wine glass, Austin?
I'm in the
spell
wine
is-
glass.
Yeah, they
The
made
spell is-
Austin.
yeah.
If you zoom in really close, you can see Austin.
Yeah.
Keep the image up long enough, you'll see me appear. Actually,
The disturbance at the top of the wine glass that you briefly noted, that's Austin being made. And then we're going to have a tournament arc to see who's the next host of Friends of the Table.
Will you have all your memories, Austin, or will it be a kind of rebirth into a new kind of existence?
is this your question?
No.
Okay, well, I can't tell you.
Okay, my yes/no question is. Oh, okay. Yes/no question. Is magic happening in this image?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
15-second
Like, let's
pause and
be-
then unanimous yes.
But like, let's be honest. Yes.
Like, yeah, when we get down to the fucking facts of it, yeah.
Right. Well, you've given me really good information there, right? Which is that, like, yes, magic exists, but it is being presented in some either semantic context or like actual context that caused you all to pause for that long. You know, whether it's we don't call it magic in this world, or it's something like this is actually pseudo mechanical stuff that we can manipulate or whatever. You know, there's something going on about the magic that meant you paused and then concluded. You know,
Yeah.
very useful.
I'm
question.
evaporating right now. Have a good
bye.
night.
Bye forever.
See, Austin.
Wow. And he's
There he
gone.
goes.
There he goes.
Wow. Who are you rooting for the new GM? Personally, I'm rooting for Ben Schwartz.
Oh, I thought we were going to have a big contest, and it was going to be one of us.
Yeah, but we're all
Only if
going
we
to
defeated
pick our
the rest of
fighter,
us.
and I'm going to pick. No, I'm not going to pick Ben Schwartz. I'm going to pick the deceased art critic John Berger.
Is this like
I'm going to also pick
physical-
John Berger.
Because John Bridger was my pick too, and so this is kind of uncomfortable.
This is very awkward. And frankly, if we can pick deceased people, well, no, it's not that Austin is deceased. It's just that he's been transmuted to the world of Hunter x Hunter.
You know what?
And will then shortly be deceased.
Yeah.
Oh, a bonus question.
yeah.
Free question. Would Austin have a good time in the world of Hunter x Hunter?
You know, I feel like Austin would be able to find a lane in the world of Hunter x Hunter.
I think
and
yes. I think that
study
Austin
some
could
cool
find
shit.
it.
Yeah.
This isn't like when people say that they want to go to the Star Wars universe, and then you have to go. Well, just think about that for a second. It would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Just think about that. It truly would be a nightmare.
You'd live your whole life on the Outer Rim, being sort of totally ignored by the terrible galactic power, but the only authority in the galaxy. And then you'd never see a Jedi your whole life. Then you'd die.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
how I wish
not
I
even
was.
of old age.
The last bit, at least.
You'd never
Right,
see a
you die
Jedi in your life,
raid
and then
of
you.
some sort.
Yeah, ideal.
I like the Jedi so much as nightmare entities. I think that what they do to any story they step into is fascinating, but I do hate them.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Okay, time for my question that you can answer with a sentence. Oh, this is a good question. Not a good question again, a good opportunity for a question. There's lots of questions you could ask about this image. And the question I'm going to ask is, where are these boys at the time of this event?
That is a fantastic question. Are
they where I think they are?
You might want to double check with. Message me. Where do you think they are? Building tension. Yes, you are correct.
Okay. I think that we should be very specific about this then.
I think we can use the proper noun name of the place they are at. Yeah. Do you want to go for it or should I?
You can go for it.
Wait. You should say it simultaneously. I'll say the boys are in, and then you say it together.
Okay.
That'll be even more confusing for you then.
Yep. Okay, are we doing this?
Yeah.
The boys are in
The hotel portion.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Heath.
I thought we were going to say the 2-word answer.
No,
Not the whole
I thought we were
sentence.
doing the full sentence answer.
Sylvie, you just give it to me. I'm sorry.
The boys are okay. I'm gonna start with your framing though of the boys are in. The boys are in a hotel room in Heaven's Arena.
Whoa. Oh, shit.
The hotel portion of Heaven's Arena.
See, I was prepared to just say Heaven's Arena.
That's also
The hotel portion of Heaven's Arena.
Yeah.
Now, this is really interesting because, and we spoke about how I don't have any kind of fluency with shonen anime, but I have some understanding of its conventions, having, seen bits of it. This is a genre, right? And, I don't know if you feel the same way, where a place could be named Heaven's Arena and it could be an arena, just a regular person's normal arena. This is also a genre where a place could be named Heaven's Arena and it is an arena in heaven. And this puts me in a real bind, as it were, in terms of interpreting your answer. Very interesting. What is the small Pokemon fella's name?
Oh, his name is Zushi.
Excellent. Great. Cool.
Spelled exactly how you think.
Yeah.
They're right, not a cool surname, not a cool spelling. They're kind of is magic. They're in the hotel portion of Heaven's Arena, and that little dude is Zushi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think so.
I think
I'm now very excited for you to see what goes on with this thing that they're doing here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because to me they're just magicking. They're just doing magic in a wine glass.
Right.
He's utilizing his magic in some respect.
Would you like to do a quick one?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Are we ready to move on? Do we have anything else about this one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, just that if you want to have us do a full show about Hunter x Hunter, you should go to friendsatthetable.cash, patreon.com/friends_table will also take you there and help us reach our goal. This is a fucking incredible one. Was this you, Keith? This one's incredible. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
This is great. God, what a great image. This is why people invented animation, to be able to make images like this. Okay. All right. I'm going to start broad here. The whole room is lit in a sort of pink color or a pale lilac color. This pink color has appeared in almost every shot. It's really cool. I say this because the whole thing has this kind of like vaguely dreamlike vibe going on, which is a really fun contrast to what else is happening in the image. In the middle of the frame, sitting on stools at what I can only describe as the platonic ideal of a wooden table, is a extremely buff person wearing a sleeveless shirt. Is sleeveless shirts a big part of this show? You can say yes to this. This doesn't feel like a spoiler. I feel like I've seen so many sleeveless shirts.
They're not an uncommon aspect of the character design. I would say they don't stand out more than any other type of shirt.
There's definitely a much higher percentage of them in Hunter x Hunter than in the real world, but they're not thematically important.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. This person's buff as hell. Wears a big bronze sort of bracelet and has just lost arm wrestling to a thin little squirt with pointy black hair, spiky black hair. Very possibly the person who was doing magic in the previous image. I think actually we have two characters in the previous image here, but that's fine. This person is very slim. Is wearing nice little boots with a nice cuff on the boots, also wearing a sleeveless shirt, and has beaten the buff fella at arm wrestling. Seems like put some exertion in, head down, not looking utterly calm, but did it. In the background of the image is a deeply surprised businessman wearing tiny, perfect glasses. This businessman has seen the, maybe was betting on the fight. Maybe was, I'll pick the buff man to win, and he's lost, and he's got that great, cartoon pose of like, what shock? Ugh. He has very cool little glasses. He's wearing a suit and a tie, a green tie. You can see the whites of his cuffs, of his shirt cuffs under his suit. Behind him is two other men in suits. We can see their legs, two pairs of legs behind. I guess these are people who are watching. And in the foreground, we have the pink-haired, the slight fellow from the very first image we saw in the last image.
Fellow.
Whose name is the slight fellow, who is looking well, not quite, but sort of peering at the camera and smirking with the biggest sort of shit-eating grin on his face. He knew that the pointy-haired one was going to, win this arm wrestling fight. No problem. And I don't think he's. I don't know how this shot is situated with other shots around it, but I wonder if he's turning to talk to another character and be like, "Yeah, I knew that would happen." He is dressed like a little fancy lad. He looks great. He's wearing a white shirt with a big, wide collar, popped collar almost. He is wearing a very snazzy pink V-neck with a little tiny white sort of pinstripe banding around the V. And this is very interesting. He is wearing a necklace or pendant, which is golden with an X in the middle. Notable because of the X in the show's logo and in a lot of its marketing. This, I think, is probably a hunter's mark. That's what I'm going to call it.
Ooh,
and this is something
hunters.
Yeah, this is something hunters
seek the pale blood.
Seek the pale blood hunter. Yeah, he gets this mark, and when he wears it, he has been sort of like, does this word mean what I think it means? No, it doesn't, so I won't use it. He has been sort of brought into the Hunters organization and gets to wear this little mark. But really what's going on here is the slight, the skinny boy with the spiky hair has beaten a buff dude at arm wrestling, a businessman is shocked, and the slight fellow is turning to the camera and smirking like, I knew that would happen. Anything I'm missing here?
There is actually a third businessman between the two legs that you can see.
Oh,
there's one additional. So there's a small detail. Perhaps a bigger crowd is here.
Yeah, well, I think that's consistent. This is like an arm wrestling display and maybe betting, so I think there's a little crowd kind of going on,
Okay. Now you said that this is the slight fellow. You said that the spiky-haired boy is maybe the spiky-haired boy from the last picture. Do you want to decide one way or the other on that?
Yes, he is. He is the spiky-haired boy. Okay. And here we have two protagonists.
Okay.
the slight fellow,
Ooh.
and the spiky head.
Now that's a great question. How many people in this scene do you think are protagonists?
2.
Okay.
Okay.
2 is my answer. What's going on here, sort of on a broader level? Well, you know, the spiky head boy is very strong, despite looking very weak, probably because of his magic. You know, so we're being told that there's like a sort of like a subversion of expectations here for the 2 characters on the left of the image. You know, oh, I can do the arm wrestling, but I'm actually really strong. I just watched Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 yesterday.
Oh, let's go.
A very similar. This is
Sorry,
my
what
first
was it
time
that you
watching
watched yesterday?
Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. It was my first time watching the Twilight movies. I thought I had such a good time. I thought that they were such a weird series
Bizarre.
to watch.
I had a
and, like,
really phenomenal time with the only one of them that I saw, which was the last one in theaters. One of my all-time favorite theater experiences.
Yeah, they go beyond.
They go beyond.
They do go beyond.
They do go beyond. They go beyond like ironic appreciation of a bad movie, which is, you know, it is what it is. I feel like people have been, me included, doing that kind of watching of movies forever. You know, it is what it is. The goals and execution of the 5 Twilight movies across their run is a fucking thing to behold. In terms of what those movies set out to do and the ways they fall short in them, the ways they kind of get occasionally very interested in a thing that is interesting and just botch it spectacularly. I cannot recommend enough the sensation of sitting down to watch the 5 Twilight movies with someone you like talking about media with. It was really, really a good time.
This is the Sonic 06 problem to me, which is that a lot of times, you know, people like to watch bad movies. A lot of the famously bad movies that people like to watch and make fun of, to me are too boring to be fun, even in how bad they are. Sonic 06 is so bad, but it also is really interesting and funny, which makes it fun to play through. And I feel the same way about the Twilight movie that I watched, is that all of the ways that it was bad, sometimes included, sometimes aside, it was really an interesting watch and a ton of fun. Where something like, what's that famous bird, the bird movie? That people
it's animated or it's
no, it's live action.
Oh, Birdemic?
Birdemic, right.
Sure. Yeah, but it's not even interesting trash.
Yes, it is trash to such a degree that it's not an enjoyable watch versus the Uwe Boll movie, House of the Dead. House of the Dead is a phenomenal watch. I recommend to anybody to watch House of the Dead. An outrageously fun, terrible movie.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Resident Evil movies earlier. I think those are very fun and interesting schlocky films.
Those are great. I think also, and we talked about this a bit when we made the Batman podcast. I really like Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, and I think that they have both gone on to become like genuinely very skilled actors. And over the course of these 5 movies, it is so much fun watching them kind of like figure out what and how acting is and how acting with each other kind of works. It's really, really fun.
Have neither of you seen House of the Dead?
No.
I have not seen House of the Dead.
Oh,
someone mentioned Jupiter Ascending in chat, and I fucking love Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah,
Don't get me
I
started
think
on
that
Jupiter
the stuff that the
Ascending.
Wachowskis make is... I've never had a bad time watching a Wachowski movie.
Same, but I've never seen Cloud Atlas.
I had a bad time watching Cloud Atlas.
Okay, all right, fine.
I think that I could find some stuff. It's not totally their fault that I had a bad time watching it. Someone tell Tom Hanks that he doesn't have to do an accent in every fucking movie. He can talk like himself. People want to see Tom Hanks.
I quite like Tom Hanks.
I don't want to see Tom Hanks.
Oh, sorry, Sylvie, we cancel each other out.
Yeah, we do. I have strong feelings that I shouldn't get into. It's controversial.
Oh,
So you're saying
fair
Tom
play
Hanks
to you,
keep
you know?
making movies where you're doing a goofy bad accent that makes the movie worse?
I think he should keep it up because it's at least given him it's something, you know?
Yeah.
Someone in chat said, "Oh, is Jack reading surprise on the businessman because they are mistaking the mouth for a mustache?" No, I know that's a mustache. Oh, sorry. Wait. I know that's a mouth. I'm reading that as like, what? How is he doing that? That face, you know? But yeah. So that's where we're at. Should we do questions here?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Do you before you ask your questions, is the arm wrestle victim anyone, and is the businessman anyone? Do you think?
I mean, the fact that you're asking this makes me think that they are. You know, I described what I thought was a perfectly normal businessman, and everybody thought that was great. So presumably,
I hope that you'll believe me. I'm going to tell you this. I would ask, no matter what, just for you to read into something that's nothing for fun.
yeah. Okay. My gut says I don't think either of these people, the businessman or the strong failure, are main characters.
Strong failure, good name.
But I think it's a very interesting show. I could plausibly see the strong failure being a main character, right? You know, it's like, characters are all squaring off against each other, etc. If this businessman is the main character, that's really interesting because this dude has a character design that we have not seen before, and in every image I've seen a new fucked up character design. This is just a guy in a suit.
Right.
And like 2 screenshots ago, I was looking at like an actual mummy, you know?
And 3 ago, you were looking at an actual monkey.
An actual monkey. So that's interesting. But yeah, out of main character protagonist, not necessarily protagonist, out of main character sort of most to least likely, I would say slight fellow, spiky head fellow, strong failure, businessman.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Questions?
Okay, so I get one yes, no question, I get a name, and I get a question with a sentence.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that the slight fellow is going to be in any of the other screenshots. So I'm going to ask what his name is.
His name is Killua.
Killua?
Killua Zoldyck.
Killua.
Killua.
Killua Zoldyck.
Yeah.
Great name.
Good names
Great
in
name.
Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, yeah. A lot
So
of good
far-
names.
We have Krollo, Lucifer, Zeusis? What was that guy's name?
Zushi.
Zushi.
Zushi, and Killua Zoldyck. Great. Excellent. Yes, no question.
Yeah, as pointed out by Jow_Twitch. I think that's Jow. It all could just be JAU _ Twitch in the chat. We also know the gorilla does not have a name.
Yes,
Correct,
the gorilla does not have a name. Okay. Is the strong failure friends with Killua and the spiky head person?
No.
That was your yes, no?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Why is Killua dressed so fancily?
Can I take this one?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Killua's family has a lot of money, and he is always wearing fancy new clothes.
Oh, wow.
That is-
I would
I love
not have picked that.
No, as pointed out in the chat, Killua was drippy.
Wow. Wow. He's a little rich boy.
Yeah. I will say that I do think that the pink shirt, I think this is my favorite Killua outfit, but he's constantly changing outfits.
He has a lot of outfits.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I think like probably like 20 or something. Like it's crazy.
Well, this is something that I love about Sailor Moon is that like everybody in Sailor Moon wears a different outfit every episode. Occasionally multiple outfits every episode. And it is the amount of labor to do that is wild. And you can see why they've made specific production decisions to allow for, you know, like, oh, we're going to turn the detail down on certain shots just so that we can make sure that, you know, Sailor Venus has a cool new sweater in this scene that she's going to appear in, you know, for 10 seconds. It's one of my favorite things about that show is the wardrobes just keep changing.
There's a lot of attention paid to outfits in the show. And I think
somebody entered the chat says it's almost like the two authors are similarly minded, married minds even. Oh, really cool. Yeah, okay. I think I'm ready for the. Do we have another one, or are we just fully into spoiler territory now?
We've decided to. I think we decided to not do the potentially spoilery one.
Yeah.
I think
okay,
and I think that the more we talk about it maybe being a spoiler, the more spoilery it becomes.
That's I think the problem is
if no one had ever said anything about it maybe being a spoiler, I think it would have been fine. But since we've
right.
I feel like you would remember it in the process of watching the show, and that would be the spoiler.
Oh,
you know?
That's true. Whereas these images are going to be so fun because we're going to hit them in the process of watching the show, and I'm going to go, oh, huh.
Yeah. I don't think anything here has spoiled anything, even kind of.
Dreamtime. Okay. So last night I dreamt that we had this conversation. I don't do this very often. I don't dream about work very often, which is quite nice. Instead, I dream about failing a history exam, you know, from a decade ago or something.
Well, actually, I think that in our case, work is more fun than a history exam. It's not always the case, but I think I'd rather dream about Friends of the Table than history class.
Yeah, what I tend to actually dream about is doing things with my friends from Friends of the Table, like we're exploring a city or something, and y'all are there, rather than it being like, oh, I have to get this done for Friends of the Table or whatever, which is nice. But this was we were recording this, and in it you showed me, I don't know which of it was. I think you had both selected a screenshot together, unanimously. And the screenshot that you selected shows, let me pull up my notes so I make sure I got this right. Okay. It was a mid-shot of someone traveling through the water on a kind of chariot engine. So there was like it was almost like a speeder bike from Star Wars, but it was in the water, it was surfing on top of the water. It was like a large yellow engine that looked almost like the tanks from like the Scream tanks from Monsters Inc., you know? That kind of yellow.
Okay.
All stacked together to make the engine. And coming off it was like a seat and two sort of long, almost like reins for a horse, you know, like whip-like leather ropes almost that the character sitting in was controlling this sort of water chariot with these two leather ropes. Sitting in the chair was what I can only describe as a professor. He had a big white coat, you know, he had big glasses, he had sort of wild professor hair, he had like a little pocket protector with pens in, and his white coat and hair was sort of like billowing out behind him as he was driving this sort of water chariot at speed across the water. He was laughing, he was excited, he was happy. I think this is like a shot from he's going like, wee, ha, 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 you know, this guy is driving around in this chariot thing. The water, the waves were kind of coming up around the chariot. It was blue water. It was a sunny day outside. It seemed pretty cool. He was in a sort of like a science fiction fantasy cross between a like a water ski device and a chariot. Right. Now you get to interpret that, I suppose.
Well, we get one
Vis-a-vis
name.
Hunter. Yeah.
What is the name of the professor?
This professor's name is Gilroy.
Gilroy. He seems like maybe not a good guy, but he seems like definitely a protagonist.
Okay.
How big is the vehicle?
About the size of a small car.
Meme Shark in the chat says, "Now, Keith, guess how you spell it."
It's QYLL
Yeah.
HFOUGH.
Got it in one.
You said you said it's about the size of an elephant.
No, about the size of a small car.
Small car. Clearly I misheard. So
Is this the kind of thing?
Also the size of a small elephant.
A very small elephant. Yeah. Elephants are fucking huge, aren't they?
Yeah.
What human vehicle, do you think is most comparable to the size of an elephant? A truck,
like one of
probably.
like a Hummer, right?
A Hummer.
Or
smaller.
I could swerve and I could say a double-decker bus.
That's too big, I think.
Well, but
right?
the Hummer is too small.
Yeah.
There's no car that is the size of an elephant, and that's how they're going to get us.
Wow.
But luckily we vastly outnumber them car-wise. Thank
Yeah.
God for that.
And thank God for that. I suppose my question is this. Is this image of Gilroy consistent in any way with what I can expect to see in Hunter x Hunter?
I'm struggling to think of many vehicles that we see. Hunter x Hunter doesn't have a ton of. They have like transports. We see.
There will be like there's definitely moments where it's like, oh yeah, that is a bus. That is a bus people get on at the bus stop. But it's not really a thing the characters engage with outside of like.
People in the chat are saying yes. There are cars. We see different like bigger transports, like Sylvie said, buses, and we see there's ships and stuff like that. But I don't think we see a lot of, because this vehicle to me spells or reads as like sort of like a sci-fi vehicle, or I know this isn't really a touchstone for you, Jack, but it sounds like we were talking right before we started. It sounds like a Capsule Corp vehicle, honestly, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
This sounds like Bulma's dad on a vehicle to me. And there's not a lot of that kind of sort of like modern fantasy personal vehicles. But weird scientist. What's the scientist doing? Is he wearing it's not a scientist, professor. Is he wearing like a coat? What is he?
Yeah, he's wearing like a white coat. Little Sweet in the chat says this feels like more like Nausicaa. Yeah, definitely. Like
that's where I was about to say.
It feels like a very Ghibli image. Whether it's Nausicaa or Ponyo or something, I definitely picture the water as having that kind of Ponyo quality of like all these beautiful different shades in it.
I was picturing sort of like forest situation in Nausicaa that's sort of like tranquil but weirdly empty vibe that they get going.
Oh. God,
like it's a lot like there's there's little like dust flecks and like light flecks in the air, and it's like I can try and find an image of like the specific Nausicaa.
Is Nausicaa the one with that fucking incredible old pirate granny? Or is that Castle in the Sky?
Wait, yeah, I think. Oh shit, that might. I don't remember. She might be.
I don't remember. I've seen Nausicaa, and that doesn't.
It's been a while.
That's Castle in the Sky, apparently.
Okay, yeah,
that's such a good character.
Because there is like an airship thing in Nausicaa but I don't think. I don't know if they have a fun leader. Like,
Oh, and Nausicaa is the one with the bugs, the cool bugs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
those
big bugs.
massive. Wow. Yeah. Well, does this about wrap it up for us today, do you think? Or is there anything else that we want to hit?
We still have our sentence question.
Oh, about the dream. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
I have sort of a question, unless Sylvie, you have a.
No, I please, I am happy to defer.
What is the professor going to do once he gets across the water?
Wow, great question. Let's see. So what he's done actually is he has built this device and he didn't know if it was going to work. So what he's doing is he's taken it out onto the water as like what he's having like a eureka moment, like it does it. The device works.
Yeah.
So I think what he's going to do is he's going to do donuts in the water and then he's going to bring it back to his lab because he's delighted.
Yeah.
They didn't think he could build it, but he did.
He did.
But he could, and he did. Yeah, yeah.
All right. I think that wraps us up.
Dear Anna in the chat says, maybe Dear Anna in the chat says, they never explained whether Jack was right or not. Is that going to happen at a later date, or do they just live with the uncertainty? Well, do I have a pitch for you? If you would like to hear whether I was right or not, you can do so in the limited run Hunter x Hunter podcast that we will produce with a rotating cast of characters, a full watch of Hunter x Hunter, by contributing to our Patreon at friendsatthetable.cash. I believe the goal at Patreon has removed goals, which fucking sucks, or is in the process of removing goals. But if the Patreon hits 30,000, we will produce this series. We're calling it Media Club Plus Hunter x Hunter. I'm so excited to do it. I'm so excited to see it and talk about it. And I'm really hopeful that folks will contribute and we'll get to the goal.
And in addition to that, if you were here last month when we were doing a lot of streaming and we told everybody about the Prime subs and, hey, if you've got a Prime sub that you want to throw our way, that we'd be really appreciative of that. The thing that we learned is that Prime subs don't roll over. You've got to redo that every month. So if you are someone who threw your Prime sub towards us last month and you'd like to do that again, you can do that again here on Twitch. And if this is the first time you're hearing about that, it's still something that you can do. But of course, our priority is patreon.com/friends_table or friendsatthetable.cash to hit that 30,000 mark. A mere $1,238 from now.
Oh, wow. So it's not even, this is worth saying. This is not a Patreon goal that is so distantly outside of the realms of possibility. This is something that we are genuinely, close to being able to make.
Right. This is something that could hit this month. It could hit next month. It could hit the month after that. That's sort of what I'm expecting personally. I'm expecting it to be somewhere in the ballpark of 1 and 2 months. And of course, if it being that close gets you excited to go to friendsatthetable.cash and donate, all the closer.
All the closer. Quaresma in the chat says, any plans to finish that Wildermyth campaign? Absolutely. That's something we're really excited to do. It's just a case of making sure that our schedules kind of align along with the ongoing production of Palisade.
Yeah, one of the things is that starting the new season recently, like all of the time that we had that could have maybe been scheduled for that had to go to Palisade stuff. So like a couple of things with more people we're sitting waiting to be done. But yeah, I want to do that soon.
Also, I have a thought that I would love to discuss with the two of you who have actually seen Hunter x Hunter. I need to think about music for this show if we make it like a theme.
That. I would love to
in-
send you music from the show, but
My initial thought was, what happens if I try and write the Hunter x Hunter theme having only heard it once?
God.
But that I don't know what the theme is like. You know, for example, there are themes that I could probably get a handle on after hearing them once, and there are themes that I would just have no chance whatsoever. Is that something that is viable and entertaining, or is that just would be extremely difficult? Oh, just another Otto says, just describe the music and make Jack write it based on that.
I'll hum it.
It is genre wise. It's kind of like a pop ballad, I guess. It's a fun theme. I really like it.
Yeah, and it's the theme for the entire run of the show, which is not usually the case with anime.
Right? Yeah,
like the song
Yu Yu
stays the
Hakusho
same
also
even when the
is the
animation
same.
changes.
Yu Yu Hakusho does the same thing, which is funny that both of his shows had the same opener. Yu Yu
I mean, they
Hakusho
got it right the
famously
first time.
best opening theme song in an anime of all time.
Yeah, Smile Bomb, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
We should think about it. There'll be music, and I want to do something fun with it. I've always loved the idea of trying to interpret a piece of music that you only have very vague understanding of. You know, of like hearing music through a wall and producing a version of it. You know, but it might be impossible. I don't know. I could probably do it in 2 listens, but at that point, it might not be as fun.
I think that you should do it. It's got lyric. It's very lyrical.
I can't do that. I couldn't do that.
But you could just interpret the lyrics as an instrumental melody. I think that you should do this. I think that you should listen to it one time, and then do your take on that. I think that's a good idea.
Would you like to watch this show? Well, do we have the link for you? Go to friendsatthetable.cash and support us on Patreon.
Of course, if for some reason you only know of us from the Twitch, you can also go to your podcast app and download the Friends of the Table podcast. You should do that.
Extremely good.
It's very good.
Doing some incredible shit right now, honestly.
But don't listen to that. Go back and listen to.
Oh yeah, listen to Partisan first. But
I mean, listen to your heart.
Listen to Partisan. Listen to your heart. Listen to Partisan. That's our new tagline. I just turned into Peggy from Mad Men.
Does Peggy pitch advertising taglines? I haven't seen Mad Men.
Yeah,
Media Club plus Mad Men.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a good one. I'd do that. I like that show. We're just gonna do shows that I like have hyper focused on.
Media Club.
We'll do
plus
that. We'll do Hannibal.
I didn't realize you were a big Mad Men.
Yeah, I watched all of it a couple months back and really, really fell in love with it.
That's good.
I like media about terrible people.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen The Terror?
Oh my god. This was recommended to me on a date.
Oh wow, that's a vibe. I haven't seen it, but I really want to.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know
too.
what it is. It looks scary.
The Terror.
It's like about you go ahead. You're probably a little more familiar.
It is a fictionalized story of a real disastrous Arctic expedition in the late 19th century, I believe. I believe the time is right.
Producer
I know
Ridley
that
Scott.
And it stars Jared Harris, who is in Mad Men. Brought it back around.
Wait,
yeah.
Jared Harris was in Mad Men.
Jared Harris is in Mad Men for a few seasons. Yeah, he's great
I will
in Mad
watch
Men.
anything Jared Harris is in except Chernobyl because that seems utterly miserable.
Yeah, how many seasons of Mad Men is he in? He was on it for like 3 years, 26 episodes, and he directed an episode too.
He's really good in The Expanse too.
Good for Gerald
He's
Harris.
just good.
Yeah.
Good for Jared Harrell.
Yep, Jared Hurl.
Harold.
Jerry Harry.
Harold. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Thank you very much.
For Harold X Harold.
And thank you, Jack, for
Jared.
Thank you, Jack, for giving it your best shot with those
Oh, thank you so much.
screenshots.
to you
You
both
really
for-
did put your mouth where your mouth was when you said that you would actually analyze them.
actually try and read the images.
Yeah, I'm so glad we dove so deep on these.
Yeah, this was so much fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Ooh, one final question. We'll close it out. Is there something that you saw today that you're most interested in learning more about or
That's a
seeing
good
more
one.
of?
Absolutely. I think that those 9 fucking weirdos talking to Crollo Mustafa were so much fun.
Yeah.
And I would love to get to know them better.
Okay, great answer.
Fantastic answer.
Is there something you saw today that you are excited for me to encounter?
So that would have been my answer.
Oh, good.
But I think outside of that, it is. I'm excited for you to learn about the magic. I think the magic in this show is pretty good.
I think that's true. I'm excited for you to learn about the ants.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
well,
very
of course.
excited about the ants.
Yeah. I have the
Wait, shit,
wrong.
did I see any ant stuff today?
Who knows?
yes
We'll
or no?
never tell.
Whoa.
You didn't ask.
Yeah. You could have.
Wow.
You could have used. I was actually.
We should have made that a question. Actually,
I
is
was
there
so-
an ant in this image?
I was so sure, Jack, that you were going to ask if everything was an ant. I was like positive that you were going to be like, "Is that an ant? Is that an ant?"
But I didn't.
But you didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I
I'll
think
never
you can't.
know.
You ended up learning more because you didn't. People fall into it's an ant trap, and not in the way that those are usually.
Right. Right. It's where you go looking for ants and then you get trapped.
Right. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Well, have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.